Good morning, everybody, and welcome to my channel. I'm Jennifer. This is A Country Life, and today is going to be a day in the life. I feel like it's been a little while since I filmed just sort of whatever happens to happen that day, and so I thought that this would be a good day. And I'm getting started by filling out my block schedule because my mind is just swimming with all kinds of things that I have to do. I know your mind is swimming with things too, and it's always helped me to kind of block it out and say, I'm going to dedicate like 2 hours to this particular area of my home. Maybe it's outside, maybe it's gardening, maybe it's in the kitchen, maybe it's homeschooling, whatever it happens to be. I kind of like to block that out and just like allow myself a certain amount of time, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever it happens to be, and say, I am not going to get distracted by the other things that always kind of like seem to be popping up all the time, right? Well, I've always just blocked it all out on a little sheet of paper. It works just fine. I just take a piece of typing paper, put a line down the middle, put some lines across the paper, and then I just kind of give myself some topics or some headings like kitchen or phone calls, emails, or homeschool or outdoor, or whatever it is that I kind of have to block out for the day. I just write it down. Well, Emily had said, Mom, what if I made something that was kind of cute for you? And this is what she came up with. Block it out, get it done, and isn't that adorable? It even has the red pot like I always use. Anyway, I thought it was so cute, and she has a little spot for headings. So I'm just kind of figuring out my day today. I know that I can't fill in all of these blocks today. So this afternoon we're going to visit my mom, and so, you know, I don't have a ton of 2-hour blocks that I can fill up today. So I'm going to put two 2-hour blocks here for today, and one of those 2-hour blocks is going to be in the kitchen, and one of the 2-hour blocks is going to be homeschooling, and that is going to fill us up until basically lunchtime. So I'm going to we are going to do homeschooling, and it is 8:16 right now, so we are going to focus on homeschooling from 8:30 to 10:30 today, and then we are going to focus on kitchen from 10:30 until about 12:30, and then we'll be taking off for the afternoon. I do have some evening time available as well, so I do think I'm going to block out the evening, and I'm just going to write evening, and we are going to focus this evening on laundry folding as well as winter gear. I like to do that, and now I can say this evening, you know what, these are the things that I am going to focus on, and if at the end of the evening those are done, I will consider that a win. In the kitchen today, we are going to be doing cran apple juice. I'm going to get a lot of hamburger fried up because I have some big plans of making hug and kiss soup, chili, and taco soup. Those 3 things. I'm going to write that down. Hug, chili, and taco. I want to make a lot of soups coming up. So today is chili. It's only going to get up to like 44 or something today. And then the next 2 days are supposed to be pretty nice, but then we are going into highs in the low to mid 30s for like the rest of the forecast as far as they were forecasting out. So it's gonna be pretty chilly. Warren has been asking for it. You guys know he's been asking for chili like constantly. We were actually out to eat with friends the other night, and somehow the idea of chili popped up in our conversation, and he was just like, when are we gonna have chili? So he's like, I could eat chili every single day. So I told him that I would make a Nesco, like a big roaster full of chili, and he's like, good, because I will eat all of it. So anyway, that is kind of the plan here for today, is not to get the whole thing done, but to just fry up all the hamburger. My mind wants to write down for my 2-hour kitchen block to get the chili done, get the hug and kiss soup done, get the taco soup done. I want to bake bread. I want to make a dessert, but I know that that's not going to happen in a 2-hour time frame. So I like to only have a couple things in my time block. Now, homeschooling, we are going to particularly focus on math and we're going to do our spelling today, and then we are also going to do Prairie Primer. So we're going to stay pretty focused with those things and just get it done. So I need to stop yammering on. All right, well, it is 11 o'clock. I had slated to get into the kitchen at 10:30, but school just took longer. I was trying to stick to my block schedule there as best I could, but anyway, sometimes things do come up, and that is it. But what it does is it just helps me to refocus when something does pull me away, like Warren had a couple questions, just like a couple computer type techie questions anyway, and so I was, you know, working on that with him, and that kind of pulled me away for a minute. But anyway, I'm back into the kitchen now, and we did not get actually all of the schoolwork done that we wanted to today. That's okay for right now. I can probably hop back and forth a little bit here. So I actually have some apples here. I'm going to get these apples washed up, and I have been working over the weekend. I was working on making cranberry juice. And so I've just put about, so into my, this is a, whoops, a steamer juicer here. In the top part of this, I put about 3/4 of apples and 1/4 of cranberries. And I have just a little bit of cranberries left that I want to do. It might be enough for, it looks like my cranberries are going to be enough to do 1 or 2 batches here. So I will be able to get 1 batch done before I have to get going this afternoon. So I know that you guys have seen me use this before. I mean, maybe not. You might be brand new, and welcome. This is a steamer juicer. Mine is the stainless steel version, and so you put water in the bottom here. This one is actually where the juice drips into this pot. This pot is where all the fruit, let's make sure that, this is where all the fruit or whatever it is that you're juicing goes in up there. This has to come to a boil, and you start measuring the time when you start to see steam coming out of the top here. And each particular fruit or vegetable has a different amount of time that it steams for. And apples steam for 90 minutes, and cranberries steam for, I think, 70. Let me see here. Cranberries are 70 minutes. I just go with the longest one. And so what I'll do is as soon as I start to see steam come out of the top lid here, I'll set my timer for 90 minutes. And then at 40 minutes is when you can start drawing off the juice. So when my timer says 50 minutes left, that's when I'll start drawing off the juice. And I just put the first jar back through. I just open the lid, pour it back in there, just to kind of make sure that this tube is all sterilized and everything. And it seems to kind of blend the juices a little bit better, so you don't get such a strong juice at the beginning and then maybe a weaker juice at the end. I'm just going to put this into jars. I don't have plans of canning this. I'm just going to keep it in the fridge, and we'll just drink this like over the course of, I don't really know what it says, how long the juice is good for, but I would think in the refrigerator, it's probably going to be good for a month, would be my guess. I see you're down to just a cowboy hat. Earlier today, you guys probably saw him during school. Baseball cap and a cowboy hat. This is the first jar of juice, and I like to just put a cover on it, and I'm just going to let it sit out here for, I don't know, 20 minutes to kind of cool a little bit. Pop it in the fridge, and like I said, this is going to be fine in the fridge for at least, I would say it's going to be fine in the fridge for a month. This is probably not an angle that I often film because it shows the whole entire kitchen in the back, and that is what my kitchen is looking like right now. It is just crazy right now with just stuff going on. So I didn't end up getting any meat, which would have been like my kitchen block time. I didn't get any meat done. I did set it out. I brought out 10 pounds here of ground venison to thaw. But we really want to get on our way to go see Grandma here today, and I have 10 minutes left on the timer for my cranapple juice. We're going to get that done, and then that's going to be it. Peter sort of wiggled his way in when I was in the kitchen, which is pretty normal. If I'm in there, the kids want to come in. They're like, oh, I'll bake too, since you're in the kitchen. Well, then he wanted to make chocolate chip cookies, so we just kind of had a lot going. So anyway, look at the dirty dishes over here. We're just going to leave it. We're leaving because we have to go and do our afternoon things. We'll have to get back to it, and we'll just have to get back to it another time. I did want to mention to you, though, I don't think I mentioned this to you this morning about the Notepad, the block it out Notepad, is that it's a 5.5 by 8.5. So Emily had made this up for me, and then we were talking and we're like, wouldn't it be fun if it was like a whole notepad? So, you know, I could tear one off and I can, you know, get a fresh block schedule for the next day. So then anyway, we found a company that would print these in pages of 50, and so we had them printed. And this is a 5.5 by 8.5, so it's basically, you know, like a piece of typing paper cut in half. It's that size, and these are for sale on my website. We also have a digital version of this, and there's like 2 options. She made one also with a chicken on, which they're really cute too. And so if it is something that you would like to have, like the download is going to be 99 cents. And then obviously you can just print it as many times as you want. And that is a full typing paper. I still say typing paper, computer paper. It's a full page, 8.5 by 11. But you know what? Don't put too many things on your list, because you still only want to you still want to just limit yourself to maybe 2 to 3 things in your little block schedule time. You won't even be able to get it done. Look at that. Today I put 2 things in and couldn't even make it all happen. For those of you that are members of my channel here, I do have a membership. I haven't advertised it or anything, but a few people have noticed that I have that available. If you are a member, you get more community posts than all of the other subscribers, and so I'm going to put a link over there for those people that are members already, and they can just get the download for free just because they're already members. And now we need to get on our way. Well, good morning. Yesterday, let's see, in the morning, what did we get done? Homeschooling. We've pretty much got everything. We didn't, although we didn't get to pray primer, but we did other things that kind of in this spot. The kids did their chapter reading, and I did reading with Joe, which wasn't on the list. So anyway, kitchen time frame, I did get one batch of cranapple juice done, and then Peter, like I told you, Peter kind of muscled in and wanted to make cookies and whatever, so we ended up not having a whole lot of, I didn't have a lot of space to get a lot done, but I did get another batch of cranapple juice done last night, so that is all done. All of the cranberries are processed and done, and then also for the evening, I had blocked off to get laundry folded and winter gear, and we did it. The kids actually worked on all the laundry folding while I got out winter gear, and it worked great. And since I didn't get I didn't even get any of the hamburger cooked up yesterday, I just popped it in the refrigerator, and 2 packs were still frozen this morning, so I just thought, I'm just gonna do 3. So I did get 3 packages of venison browned up here, and I salted and peppered it, so that's 6 pounds. And what I'm going to do, actually, I thought I was going to make a ton of chili, but what I'm going to do is separate this into 3. Not this morning, because we have actually a Science of Magic program to go to today, and then I work the election today, and so that's pretty much going to take up most of the day. But at some point I am going to divide this hamburger into 3 equal parts, and then I will make a double of chili, a double of Hug and Kiss soup, and a double of taco soup. And then that is really what we are going to eat on for the rest of the week and into the weekend. Those 3 meals. And so I'm happy about it, and I'm pretty sure that everybody's gonna be happy about that because they like those meals. Even though I didn't get to the hamburger yesterday, it was on my list. I was able to say, and I'm gonna put my mind to gaining traction with getting the hamburger cooked up this morning before we even have to start school. I keep looking up at the clock. It's just a couple minutes after 8. And I'm also going to work on filling out my block schedule for today. And just because I had 3 blocks from yesterday, I'm actually going to use these up today because I don't like to waste the paper. So I'm only going to have 2 blocks for today because, like I said, I work the election and we have a program that takes us away from the home today. So I have a homeschooling block, which will kind of go over the lunch hour before I have to work the election, and then I'm going to have an evening block, and I'm going to get into the kitchen for the evening block, and that is going to be my day blocked out, so I know exactly what I need to get done.